Right now, the push to legalize cannabis at the federal level is on hold. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says more time is needed to work out different provisions in a bill. Kellen Howell takes a closer look at the long battle over cannabis in Washington.
This one's pretty earthy.
Advocates for marijuana reform were hopeful change was on the horizon when Democrats took control of both the House and Senate after the 2020 elections.
I rise today in support of this urgent legislation that will help pave the path toward racial and economic justice.
But well over a year after the new Congress was sworn in, significant hurdles remain to federally changing weed laws that have disproportionately affected people of color.
It's ridiculous that at this point, where most people live in a state that has decriminalized marijuana to some point, that again, Congress is way behind where the people are.
Earlier this month, the House again passed the MORE Act, a sweeping bill to decriminalize marijuana and expunge prior criminal records that has already been approved in previous years. And the Senate will soon get its own bill, which Democratic leader Chuck Schumer has pledged to introduce by August.
At long last, we are taking steps in the Senate to right the wrongs of the failed war on drugs. I was the first Democratic leader to come out for the legalization of marijuana, and I will use my clout as majority leader to make this a priority.
Although the two bills are similar, the Senate bill is expected to legalize and regulate cannabis sales, something the MORE Act does not do.
It appears that things are hinging on the Senate bill just because there isn't a MORE Act in the Senate. There is no Senate companion. I believe that the Senate bill will actually be the vehicle for marijuana legalization.
Although the House has passed the MORE Act multiple times, this is the first time the Senate will have to take up the question of cannabis reform, and it's unclear if the bill will get the 60 votes needed to pass, with many Republicans still worried about the potentially negative impacts of legal marijuana.
I think what we'll see is a lot of Democrats will support automatically because they understand that this is a racial justice civil rights issue, and they understand the war on drugs needs to end, and this is one element of the war on drugs. But I don't think that's true of all senators.
Some GOP lawmakers, however, favor a more incremental approach to marijuana reform. Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace sponsored the States Reform Act. The bill would decriminalize marijuana and regulate it like alcohol, but leave it up to the states to decide whether to allow legal sales. And it doesn't include the social justice programs laid out in the MORE Act. Advocates like Perez say an issue as big as marijuana reform needs a big solution.
The drug war has impacted so many facets of people's lives that we need a solution that's just as comprehensive.
Kellen Howell, Newsy, Washington.
Regarding social justices, according to an ACLU report, Black Americans are 3.6 times more likely to be arrested for marijuana usage compared to white Americans. With that in mind, it brings us to